He hasn't put up the sign yet for Wayward Music. I haven't seen it. Oh, okay.
No, he had a sandwich board, I think, up a couple last weekend.
Uh-huh. Yep. Okay, well, it takes time for those things. We're on jet lag. I know it's weird. Jet lag.
I like that. It's a catchier name.
Okay. Did you see anything that you know? Charles or Sean, anything? Okay. We accept a motion. We accept those minutes as motion made.
Seconded.
Okay. Charles, these are big votes. We got 1, 1, and 1. You know. Okay, so we would move to the proposed Parkway project here, and this will open it up to you folks to tell us what we ought to know, and then we'll see.
Great. Well, my name's Carl Bender from AOK Engineering, and I'm here to help with showing you what our plans are. On the first page is just a location map so that we can find where we are in the universe. But on our second page, I show you what's currently there. What this is not only for most of the data is used for doing our stormwater pollution control now. We would be a retrofit site, and one of the things that we do with being a retrofit site is because there's already hard surfaces there, we get to take them as credits. And even though we're going to increase it, we're not increasing it as much as we would if we were starting with a fresh site. So that helps us out too. The existing building used to be known as Phoebe's Restaurant, is going to be demolished. We had a asbestos survey done, and they had an asbestos contractor in, and all the asbestos is gone. And we plan on knocking that building down as quickly as we can. The next page is actually on page 3 is actually what we're hoping to do. We're going to end up with a convenience store, and we're also going to have gas, and we are going to have a Tim Hortons in there. And right now we are in the process of talking with Tim Hortons and also with our gas people about signage and all that stuff. So currently we just know where we'd like to put it, but we don't have any of the signage information. But starting at 11, the existing driveways are already there. We're not changing those.
There's 2 curb cuts?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
We may have to move those a little bit.
Okay. So we then have a parking or a paved lot that goes back. Our paved area is going to be up. It's actually this curved one. It's actually this curve right here. And as you can see, the outline of the Holiday Express, we're going to be our pavement's going to go just a tad bit behind their building. We are going to have screened dumpsters. This is our screened dumpsters right here. Parking lot lighting for both the parking lot in the back and also for navigation around the facility. The big thing is the drive-thrus. Today's day and age, it's a necessity for everybody. And we're currently in the process of going through the stormwater calculations and the design. That's why this area is actually reserved. Because the rules actually changed in January for the retrofit, using an existing site. So we're in the process of going through and making sure that we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's so that it's 100% correct for Parkway. But we'll get our stormwater permit from the DEC, and the methods that we do to treat. I'm not sure your guys' experience with stormwater now, but you have to treat it on site for so many inches of rain. Then you have to keep so much of it on site, and then you can never increase the discharge from what it was before.
Carl, is that gonna be underground? Or
Probably not.
pond, a pond? or something?
We're gonna try to stay away from ponds too,
Okay.
just because the ponds are really, really hard for us, because, you know, they're a liability. We gotta fence them in and all that stuff, and then you also have to maintain them. I mean, you just don't put them in and walk away. So,
They collect litter like
Well,
crazy. I don't know how it
yeah.
happens, but you have a fence and they're full of bleach bottles.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah.
and
Good.
so they also have a bunch of new ways that they want us to do it. So we're going through to make sure that we maximize that stormwater thing. But because they've changed all the rules, the state's not, you know, they actually give you a spreadsheet and then you go through it with them and then you go back and forth, and that's currently where we're at right now. That's why there's a big blocked out.
But it's their permit, so we trust them.
Yes, correct. And we have to start somewhere. You know, we have to start with, you know, a lot of times in other towns or villages, as I call it, catch-22, they'll say, come see me when you get a DEC permit. Well, the problem is DEC says we're not gonna give you a permit until you get something approved from them, right? So, anyways, do you have any questions of us?
So this is two drive-throughs, and that's because there's two different buildings.
One's
or-
a pickup window.
Okay.
So this one here is it's not necessarily a true drive-through because there's no menu boards or anything, it's just a pickup window.
Oh,
So
okay.
we'll have our own food operation in the convenience store.
Mhm.
It'll be subs, sandwiches, wings, pizza.
How many occupancies will be inside besides, Tim Hortons?
So the convenience store and the food operation are one of the, we'll operate that ourselves, it won't be a
Like
franchise.
one that has the convenience store on one side and the sub shop
Yeah.
on the other, or this is over there?
Yeah, Chris knows.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine.
In this case, yeah, the sub shop will actually be ours.
Okay.
You could
Sorry.
take that if you needed
No,
to.
it's I'll get the cake.
Okay.
Carl, you dropped $1
Yeah,
too.
well, even
Oh,
more important,
yeah.
yeah, see, it's costing you money to
No.
answer the phone.
Yeah, so you'll be able to, on the one operation, you'll be able to order online or call it in and pick it up, where the other one's an actual drive-through.
I see. Yeah, so that's-
It's kind of similar to the Adirondack and Potsdam, except for they actually have two full drive-throughs. They have the Kentucky Fried
KFC
and the
and,
KFC.
yes. Yep. Now, I have to ask a very primitive question, I'm sure. What does FFE stand for? Is that the
Finished
footing-
floor elevation,
Finished floor? Or
I think it's what it is
Finished floor
right now.
finished floor,
elevation,
okay.
yep.
Yep, it's still 1.5 foot above the ground around, because, as you might have seen about Phoebe's, it sank into the ground.
Yes.
This soft territory. Now, I don't know how soft it is here, and I'm sure you have to do some sort of perk or some kind of test, but be careful, because slabs around here sink, and then the doors won't open, and water ran downhill into the foyer at Phoebe's.
Yeah,
So,
we saw that.
yeah, right, it's all full of mildew and all that now. So please be careful about that. Yeah, I thought that was, I thought it'd be footer level, but no, it's finished top of your slab.
There's an actual frost wall here too as well, not
Okay.
just a
Okay.
slab.
Okay, that helps. But it's what you learn by being around here. The whole of this region is like a big bucket of pudding, and everything is just gushy on this. And when it's wet, it's just mushes all around. When it's dry, it's hard as a rock, but it's never dry. Then I had another question about there's a purple line that comes down and does.
Yeah,
are
that's
these-
the actual power line that goes over and feeds the hotel.
Okay, that's why I think, okay. There were some surveyors there, they had to get that sign.
No, that's just so that.
And your
you
power
get
will
your
come in
oriented.
underground? You
I'm
have-
sorry?
Will you have underground feed to your?
Probably. Currently, we're going through that with Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons gives us a list of the equipment that we have to have inside, in the facility. And we have to have a layout that matches them, and the architect is working with them to get everything positioned perfectly, and then we'll also know how much electric they need. But we'll probably tap off one of their poles and go
Underground over to the phone.
Yeah.
And gas for $2 a gallon, right?
I wish.
At least.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
the only thing that we haven't is there's a storm, not storm, but there's a sewer and a fire hydrant right smack in front. Yes.
Yes, I saw that.
So we were hoping, we have not contacted the village yet, but we were hoping to be able to connect to those.
So that's something, but I don't know what it is. This is out, no, this is in the village. We're in the village, yeah. You're okay, you're still in the village. Yeah, this
I
is,
know that, now, originally that water line that the Sullivans put in out there originally wasn't, I don't know what they've done since.
I think that that's
And
still
I think
owned
it's
by
on the
them.
north side of the highway, isn't it?
I think that the water line's still owned by the hotel then.
Oh, okay. But is the capacity there?
Right, so you got, they probably have sprinklers in there, plus they have a fire hydrant right there in front of us. So we should have at least a 6-inch water line.
Okay.
But you had the water line from Phoebe's, but that's just like whatever you had, a 3/4 or 1 or something like that.
Yeah, which is all we need, we don't need sprinkler systems and
Oh,
all.
okay, so-
Yeah, their facility's not working.
But we do, and there's some sort of septic system on site for Phoebe's, but
Oh, so you need to tap into the sewer.
we will be hoping to hook to the sewer. We'll also hope to, but I haven't had a chance to get a hold of, there's been a change of leadership for the Department of Public Works in the village. So we emailed them, but they're still going through that, so we'll be impatient.
If you talk to Mike Dalton, he and I spoke at length about this when the hotel came to us last year or 2 years ago about the water line that went out there. Do you remember that discussion?
I remember the discussion, but I don't remember how it turned out.
And there's something about the new hotel across the street from where you're looking to put this in. Having to maybe do a new water line because they could not access, or it was Pizza Hut, someone had to do a new water line because they could not access the one that was going to come to
They put a new water line into the new hotel, they tapped an 8-inch line in the back,
Yep.
behind the plaza, and that's how the water gets to the new hotel.
Yeah, and something about the village made the comfort suites pay for, or comfort suites were saying the wrong thing. What do you even call hotel names in the village now?
Or Fairfield?
I think
No, the other one, farther out.
Holiday Inn Express.
The Holiday
Oh,
Inn.
yeah.
So the Holiday Inn, the village required them to pay for it, and then the idea is that you turn over the water line to the village after you put the water line in, but I don't believe that they ever did that. Maybe out of spite for the cost of it. That was Mike's belief, I don't know the reason.
If you turn it to the village would have to maintain it.
Right, which would be
Yeah, most
smart,
people
right?
do.
But I think they're looking at it as an opportunity to stop competition from coming in, because there are 4 or 5 other good building sites for hotels right there.
Yep.
So that was, I don't really understand the logic, but what I do know is that.
The only challenge is the water line getting on the other side of 11, it's cost you $5 when they do a directional bore to get underneath the road.
Right.
But we better not spend $5 grand when the fire hydrant's there
Oh,
on
yes.
that municipal right away.
Yeah,
Is
so
there something,
we have-
Jeff, about tapping into the fire hydrant system?
Well, you're not allowed to tap at the fire hydrant, because the fire hydrant literally sits off the main,
Yeah,
about 15
yeah.
to 25 feet.
Okay,
So
so
main's here.
you wouldn't be coming actually off the hydrant, you'd be coming off the main.
Right. And they'll probably brought it underneath 11 and then pumped off from that, but left it so that there was ways to go both ways in the future. But we haven't had a chance, I haven't had a chance to talk with Marty Miller.
But the sewer line is also a concern, right? I mean, you gotta know how big that sewer line is, and how far it comes from the hotel, and how it's sized, whether it's ready to pick up another business or not, and I think that's another consideration that you have to take.
Our flow rates are very low in the convenience store.
But still, it has to be calculated.
Yes, sir. Yep.
It may never even become part of the discussion, because I remember there being something about that. And that was what, 4
So
years
have
ago.
your eyes open, that there's some issue about underground pipes here, and the mayor will know, Mayor is
The mayor
Mike
knows.
Dalton, who mentioned this, is the mayor.
Okay.
He would know how to guide you, to the
Okay.
right, to that thing. Yeah. That would snub you up all of a sudden, no water, no sewer. So, and the lights are downcast,
Yeah,
that
everything
dark
is
sky
dark sky
stuff.
compliant, yep.
And
And once we get the signage designed out with our vendors, we'll be back for our signage. And we're hoping to actually break ground as soon as possible, so.
before winter.
Yeah, we wanna be formed concrete like yesterday if we could, but you know, the process takes time and we wanna make sure that we're covering all of our bases, but any way to expedite us, if we could get, you know, final site approval really fast, schedule an extra meeting for us, it'd greatly appreciate it.
Is the county planning board on November 12th? Did I read that
The
correctly?
next one will be November 12th.
Would it be possible to get on that?
Don't know that at this point.
From our point of view, but if they're booked, we don't know.
Okay.
But,
But that comes, the request to go there comes through your board, right?
yes. But you write a check to them, right? They get it directly.
And there's an application, Carl, you'll have to fill out for that, and a check that you have to send in at that point in time. So
Okay.
just get that ready, and then as soon as they get me the information, I can probably, I don't know, Barry, is it you or me that gives it to the county?
You.
You should have stated that differently. I said Barry needs to do that.
Yeah, that's right. No, I never have, that I know of.
Right, but you just gotta give me your report to give to them.
Yep.
I've got Mike Bones contacted me too.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll give them a jingle.
It could go pretty fast sometimes.
Yeah.
It depends on, there's not a lot of building going on right now, so.
If there were any kind of approval tonight, we would have to base it on whatever the county planning office comes up with also.
Right. Leave it as a contingency.
Yeah.
But you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
And, I say it's like trying to ask for a date to the prom. You don't know who to ask first because what's gonna happen all the way around, so. It's the same idea. So, is there any concerns that anybody has at this point, at this game? I don't have any either. There's lots of space out there. You have plenty
You've
of
seen
space.
our buildings are attractive.
Yeah. And it's the same kind of plan all along. You're the same folks who've done the others, is that right? Same team, so to speak?
Same architects, same
And,
engineers, same all.
We got the right number feet set back in the center of that road, because I know there are requirements related to that for properties on 111.
Because it's worth talking to DOT. DOT has, I don't know what you call it, but an iron grip on a lot of this stuff in through here. And you want to be sure that you don't run afoul of them. They're an important power here.
That's something that came up.
143, I think we have, plus or minus 143 feet from the front of the building to the edge of the highway boundary. If I'm reading that the same way, right down through here.
From the center of the road, I just don't, I know that these
So
are all
that would
things we have
be-
to check, but I don't keep all the numbers anywhere else because they change.
Yep. This is the center line, right here, so that's going to be, unit scale.
Yeah, it's 1 inch per 50. We had another 40 feet.
1 inch is 40 feet, yeah, so yeah, there's another.
Do you know the footage?
Well, the setback has been, the village's rules is at 25 feet from front, side, and rear. So we have it on line for what the setbacks are. But
That's-
the DOT normally doesn't have, to the best of my knowledge,
Okay.
the DOT does not have one. If they wanted it, they would purchase the right of way
Right.
and not allow you to be on it.
Why did this, when and why did this come up? Why did we?
Well, we had trouble with them putting a curb cut in for.
Curb cuts are difficult.
Yeah.
And so
They
they
don't
weren't
like
gonna do it, you go in through the plaza, that's what they were saying, well, that's not fair, and so they did find, I think had to go to state senators to do it. So they're proprietary through here. But, well, like the time they were putting up the sign for the hospital, they came along to know what they were cutting down trees for up there, what's going on here, it's on their own land too, so we're just giving you a heads up as to what might be something to be aware of. But the rest of us don't see any other issues here, I would say, so, as a
Yes.
I make a motion, we tentatively approve this, on feedback from the county, and Jeff, probably can, you have any points, Jeff?
Nope. Okay. So, if the motion is made to, essentially let this move forward to the county, and then we will be contingent upon the county's recommendations if there's something that they say we have to
And I'm good with John's motion, I just wanna make sure we did all of our homework before we did this, so we got the number of parking spots right, we got
The
everything
company
we're supposed to.
has everything on it for what our zoning, you know, what area we are in our zoning, and all the requirements are right there for our setbacks, how much area we're covering. It's on the very first page.
Oh, yeah, coverage,
Yes, sir.
And
Got the boldface triangle in capital letters here.
we have 3 full acres. I mean, if
Yeah.
we need to
Yeah.
add a couple parking
Yeah.
spots,
We got
that's
a
not.
lot of spots.
Okay.
I mean, there's all these, there's all these, there's all these, and there's doubles back here.
Yeah. We try to leave some for buses, if that ever comes back into this world again.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. A busload at Tim Hortons, yeah, that's a good,
Yeah.
Carl,
And there's room for a tractor trailer to
give me
get.
a package of everything that's pertinent that I have to give to the county. The same information you gave to these, I want a copy of it, and I'll give it to them.
Gotcha. You want it electronically, or do you want it paper?
Do we have it right here tonight?
I just have one paper copy here for
Do
you.
we need
And I
a?
don't have
We don't need to
one
keep all these, I can
signature.
give these.
I don't have no
There's
form.
4 copies here, or
Yeah.
3
So
copies
you can have
here.
these, we're not gonna keep them.
I
They're
apologize
beautiful,
for putting
but.
all before.
Do they need, Barry, do they need a
I
horse
just want all the
pitch?
information, Carl,
A horse
because if it
pitch?
goes to the county and they don't have what they want, they're gonna kick it to the next.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The application we get online,
And then we'll say, okay.
you'll be able to
Okay.
get on
Yeah.
that.
We'll let
have
the
it
Amish
in
up
for
to
you
work.
tomorrow.
Yep, just, that you can scan and email
Yep,
to me
and then we'll
probably.
have everything set right over.
And then a check, I think there is a check that has to go to it too, but it'll describe it right on the internet there, I think. So you get that
I
to
can
me.
run that over.
And this is the only paper that I need to give them. This is what your full site plan review is right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And we hope that they take it. I'll call Matilda tomorrow to see if you guys can get on the 12th, November 12th meeting. And I can't answer for her, so that's up to them. But I'll have an answer on that tomorrow.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Alright, well, John's motion is still
Yep,
going, and I
so-
say, I approve.
Okay, you second it? Yes?
Yep,
Okay.
you good.
Just vote in favor of it? Okay, so. Very good.
Thank you
Yes,
very much.
Yep, this one wasn't too, painful.
No, pretty easy to use.
Aaron's proud. You know, it's not.
I wish I liked Tim Hortons better.
It's not
I
the
don't like it.
Oh, good. Okay, so,
Can we change this to a Starbucks?
Thank you all.
yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Is that
Very nice
something
meeting
that we-
everyone.
Eventually,
Only if
I know
they
what
put
they
in a
look like.
Target
Thanks,
with
sir.
that.
Thanks, sir.
I'd have no money left.
Me neither, me neither.
Thank you, sir, and then thanks, guys. We get sir.
Well, yeah, he's got the position up there.
Yeah, look.
And you're done dealing with them here, they gotta deal with me for the rest of the building.
Yeah, that's it too.
Truth.
Yep.
Okay.
You're really not too bad with
We want them here.
Yeah, and we do, we want everybody here, you know, that's the thing. Come on up.
They pay taxes, they hurt people.
Yep. We've got among the best of the easels, people who come to these things. That one
Oh,
goes
I
together
never
nicely.
never leave home without it.
Usually they're all flimsy, you know, and they have to wrestle with them to get it to stand up
Thing's
straight.
probably got 100,000 miles on it.
There you go. It's nice.
Yeah. Okay, so we would.
So, thanks for having me again. And you obviously know the project that was here a little over a month ago. But we're back to talk about signs. And as I understand it, we're looking for a referral from you, and then we have to go talk to the village board about the actual approval. So, the signage, or maybe I should just go over what is the variances we're looking for. So we're asking for 4, I guess you'd say. Freestanding height sign, you have a maximum of 12, we're requesting 25. Square footage of that freestanding sign per code can be 32 square feet. We're asking for 68 square feet. The number of wall signs is 2. We're asking for 5. And then you have a height limitation on wall signs of 2.5 feet. We're asking for the wall signs to be up to 3.5 feet. So the wall signs, this is the front of the building. Both of these, so you see have what's referred to as a wall arch, McDonald's, a wall arch McDonald's on the non-drive-through side of the building, and then on the drive-through side of the building, there's a McDonald's sign. The freestanding sign closing sits about quite a wide right of way here. So we're sitting about 55 feet or so back from the edge of the pavement. And this is the proposed freestanding sign we're proposing. The actual sign area of the top is about 36 square feet, so it's a little bit larger than a sheet of plywood. And then you have another sign down here, this message board, which would change periodically, announcing deals or coupons, etc. That's 4 by 6, so that's about 24 square feet.
That's digital?
It is.
So the way it works is we make a motion to deny this, and then it gets kicked to the
That's
ZBA.
what we have to do. I think
No, it doesn't go to the ZBA, it goes right to the trustees.
Right to
To
the
the
board of
trustees,
trustees.
yeah. So, the thing about the LED sign, just so you know, is that it can have text and it can have pictures, but it can't have movement. So you can change the picture and you can change the text, but it
can't be like a constant rotating and
Right.
moving. I understand.
can't,
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
it has to just change, but it can change something like every 9 seconds or 8 seconds or something like that, but it can't be animated, because the idea is it's like a moving sign.
You don't want to be
We can't-
distracting.
Right, we can't have spinning stuff,
Yep.
none of our signs move or whatever.
That's not a problem.
So that's
Is there any regulations concerning the brightness?
so,
We want another cookie.
yeah, well, so that's the thing. They're working on the code right now, they haven't got the sign code yet, they're working on the village code. And there is language in the, written by the companies who have LED signs, who make these signs. And in that language, which we're supposed to use, it says you can have an increase of 4 candle power over ambient light, which is plenty to see. And so in the daytime, it comes up brighter, plus 4 candle power.
Mhm.
And at night, it goes down to plus 4 candle power above night. And as long as it does that, it's not too bright. What we have is Coakley's out here outside the village. And it's so bright you can't even drive past it at night without sunglasses. And,
Is it complying with that 4-foot candle rule?
No, it isn't. So that's
It was the
that.
first one in the village, I recall.
Yeah, close to it.
It's actually not in the village, is it?
No, thank heavens.
Are we talking about the Cap Coakley?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep, and so,
That's in the town.
yep, and so that's one of the things that we want to not
That's
have.
true before this, when this all started, when the digital signs started, everybody was caught flat-footed pretty much as far as regulations on, the brightness and the movements and, I knew there's one in Potsdam, I know there's one out here.
So is that the standard then, 4-foot candles over ambient now?
It should be, yes, and that would be, it's easily done. Apparently that's within the computer setup.
Absolutely.
It's easily done, so, and I think the companies that make them want you to do that, so probably it's more expensive. However, that would help you a great deal on trying to get a bigger sign, such a big sign, because the spirit of what we're trying to do is to keep everything low-key, all coming into the village and all through the somewhat historic and I don't know what to call it, but it's a park-like village as you come through.
Oh, sure. Once you get into the heart of the village, absolutely.
And so we're trying to keep the entrance as low-key as possible. If everybody else is playing by the same game, nobody has an advantage over the others by having one that sticks up too high or big or whatever. So that's the plan. And the other thing we know of is that in Canton, you already know where everything is, or you're on GPS and you're going to find it in a second. And you've got a beautiful new building that's going to show without any sign. The people driving by when it's being built are gonna pull in, just because they're gonna know it's McDonald's, whether there's a sign up or not. But that's our theory, that's our plan here, so we'd like to have it be as moderate and, I don't know if the better word is classy, just as you've been doing to change your appearance and all that, is what we really want to have. The directional signs have got to be able to be seen from car height and all that sort of thing, and be easy enough to see. As far as, and you know what the rule is, 80% of the width of the front can be all signs. But again, to that same I think it's 24 inches as a max.
2.5 feet.
2.5 is our.
2.5 feet height.
Is that ours or theirs?
No, that's your car.
Oh, ours is
2.5 feet.
Okay, yes,
Yeah,
good.
that's
So
what we're asking.
And that's what you're asking for.
The only ones that are,
They're asking for a variance.
yeah, for the wall arches, those are 3.5 feet high.
Okay.
So that's one of the variances we'd be asking.
And we have allowed a circular sign because the area is smaller, even though the diameter is a little bigger. So that would be something you could ask for. You know, I forget which sign it was. We had something that was bigger because it.
Yeah, I don't think we have any, we're compliant in terms of the area of the wall sign. It's
Yep.
just strictly the height of the
Height.
Now, Steve, on the upright side, on the standalone sign, you said it's 68 square feet. That must be the combination
That's
of
right.
those two, right?
That's right.
And I think that's a point when you meet with the trustees that you should say, because
Yeah, it's a combination of.
if it was just one of them, it'd be compliant, right?
Well, it'd be bigger than 32 square feet, which I think is what the code allows. One freestanding sign of 32 square feet.
But only by 4 square feet, right?
Well, it'd be the top one would be
one.
36, so it'd be 4 feet over, and then the LED is another 24 square feet.
But they're separate signs.
That's right.
Yeah,
Circular sign, same stand.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah.
Yep.
Now, is there a maximum height depth?
Well, there is, they say 12 feet, but Barry, that piece of yellow paper right there goes through and tells you right now what exists. The Dunkin' sign right next door to where he's putting his is over 20 feet tall.
Wow.
That's a list of
Look
the
at Burger
signs that
King.
exist now
Look
in
at
that
24 for
corridor.
Burger King. Yeah, 20 for, you hadn't seen that, have you? Have you seen this, Charles?
No, I think
No, I'd like to.
Okay.
I'm the only one that's seen it.
Okay. 17,
How
20,
and why
28,
do they get permission to do that?
Yeah, here's some.
The Burger King especially.
Shouldn't be on the ground. That was gone before us, huh?
Every sign that's come since I've been here has either been
Well, it's getting another
required size
up
for
to
smaller.
24 feet.
Yeah. Well, except for Dairy Queen. Still, but Dairy Queen is only.
Oh, that's existing.
Yeah, that was
That was an
existing,
existing
and
sign,
Dairy
yeah.
Queen will lose it if somebody else buys it. Will lose that sign, which the real estate agents won't tell them who buys it. So, you have to find out the hard way. The directional reserved drive-through, those are permanent signs too, where it says reserved drive-through. They're permanent. Oh, I know what they're for. They're for where you pull around and wait for them to bring
If
it
you get
up.
a complicated or big order, they tell you to pull out of the drive-through,
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, those could be regular height. That doesn't
That's
have to be
right.
especially high. There's just guiding for actual parking
Yep.
spots. Only 2 of them for that?
That's right.
2
Move them up along the front here.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, that's right, around
Yep.
the.
And those are 2
outside.
different options.
No, there's a couple different approaches. So you have your pull forward sign. So if you're at the pay window, there's 3 windows, a pay, a pickup, and a pull forward.
Okay.
So if you're at the pickup window and you have a very big order, they'll say, pull out of the drive-through, wait here, we'll bring your food out to you. There's mobile to go. So you do this from your phone, you order it, you park here, and they bring your food out to you.
Okay. But like the bases, the 2 different bases with the reserved drive-through signs, are those just different options?
Oh, no, that's just looking at it. Yeah, there are 2 different options.
Okay.
One is it's actually mounted in the ground.
Yeah.
And the other just sits on a big piece of concrete.
Okay.
Okay. So,
The thing I'm trying to figure out is this list of signs here. Most of those buildings are older than maybe predate that code, but then the Dunkin', I can't explain, that's only 15 years
Yeah,
old.
and Burger King's not that old either.
Yeah. That's the second or third Burger King that's been on the site. How many Burger Kings have there been there?
Yeah, what a question.
Been here as long as I've been here, but that's not saying much.
Okay, well, those are,
Right, so it's probably an old sign, or an old sign.
this is good information. All this is good for you.
Yeah, because the Burger King's 24.
Right, because
And
we
25 's not
can't
that.
waive these things. That's why we want you to have a recommendation.
So
that
the
goes out.
board is here to give a positive
Right.
referral to the, to the village board. You bless it or you don't bless it, I guess.
Yep. And if it had been all compliant, then go through it and say, oh yeah, that's compliant. But if not, then you can work with that. So, okay. So, yes.
So the only motion that we
Is,
Well,
go ahead.
send this to the board, and, I'm sorry, you wanted to say more?
I was just gonna say, you,
So they're positive, but.
I guess, positive on all, because there's three separate kind of issues here. Positive on all, negative on all, or kind of break them up individually.
What are the three issues that we're talking about?
Well,
It's on the second page. Do you have this one?
There's the height of the freestanding sign, that's one. The size of the freestanding sign,
Oh, he's done it.
that's two. I guess there's four actually. The number of wall signs and the height of the wall signs.
But it's only the M's that are the.
That's right.
That exceeds that.
It's only, yeah, that's right, it's the two M's that are in excess of the 2.5 feet.
Okay.
right, and you haven't used up all of your allowed space on the sides in front either, so that's all right.
Yep.
You have 80% across the front can be
Yeah,
signed.
we don't
so
have,
you're
we don't
way
square
over.
footage issues there,
Yeah,
so.
and so that, it's legit to say it's okay to put it on three sides, because the building is seen from three sides. So you want the McDonald's on all three sides, that would be a positive.
Especially seen on all four sides.
Oh, yeah.
Through the
that's
plaza.
right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good point. But don't ask for that.
Yes.
They'll see this other
It's
side.
pretty rare we put signs on the back of the
Yeah,
building.
but it may be rare that you're in a parking lot too, I don't know. Is this?
No, we do other ones in pad sites, we refer to them, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's interesting. So, and we have, like you said, put up rounds, or allowed round signs that were, all right as far as square footage is concerned, but because it's a little tall in the middle, because it's too big, then it's all right. So that would be a relatively positive thing. And then the recommendation is to be sure that the LED is not going to be too bright.
Mhm.
Not
Yeah,
gonna be-
4-foot candles over ambient.
Correct.
The LED doesn't change it, but at most every 9 seconds.
Yeah. Which is still pretty fast, but it's not fast if you're getting messages driving by. You know,
Exactly.
you only get
You're
two
drive
or
by the
three-
site 9 seconds, so
Right,
you only get
so you
two.
only get 1 or 2 bits of the message, so that's why it's fairly short. But I don't know, but I would vote to decrease the height of this freestanding sign. 25 is way too big. The tallest we have is a 20 so far, well, there's a 24 at
24.
Burger King. Yeah, you want to be able to be competitive with.
But well, and I feel like the Dunkin' one is also maybe something to take into
It
consideration.
certainly shouldn't be any higher than the Dunkin' right next door to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Charles, did you say it certainly shouldn't be higher than the, right?
Dunkin'.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Because that's in the same.
And I'm honestly, so everyone knows, going for it being the height of the sign that, not Kenny's, but Rite Aid got when they put in their thing. So
Yeah.
whatever that height is
That
fair
would be-
height.
What was Burger King?
Burger
Or the Dunkin'?
The Dunkin'
Okay,
is
20
20
feet,
plus.
Yeah.
And my recommendation that I send up to the village board would be a height that's no different than the one on the new drugstore. It's just up a block from there, so it's a 20-foot sign in my. That's
Okay,
the only
we
one.
can add that to it.
That's the only one that's been approved on my tenure.
Ah, okay.
Jeff, why is it 20 plus? Is it just not?
Well, because I couldn't get any further up with the tape measure.
I
standing
thought
on
that
the
was-
ground, out of the back of my pickup.
Good on you.
Anybody
You'd
ask
think
you
that
what you're
people
doing?
looking strangely at me when I
Oh,
was doing
I
it.
They're like, what's that guy doing?
Does this look like 20 feet to you?
I'm sorry, what sign were you referring to?
There's a drugstore that's new, I think you remember what
Is it
Oh,
Walgreens?
yeah.
Yeah. And that's come up in the time that I've been on this board, that's the only one I can really speak intelligently about. The other signs, I can't explain to you why they're that size.
Canisius is not doing it.
But what I do know is that I'm going to give you the same air treatment that we gave to Walgreens or Rite Aid when they came and made their request.
So if other signs may have been under, previous law.
I think they must be, yeah. I mean, cause that's such a stark contrast.
Don't break this down.
Maybe narrow it down, so it's over.
When Walgreens bought Rite Aid, they put it in their sign,
Mhm.
stuck right under, says dirty business, but now that's sort of set the precedent. You know, not that you can buy a sign, but the precedent is that we asked for it to be lower. Rite Aid put it in as they should, Walgreens came in unannounced and then put up a bigger one.
Oh.
Nobody's happy with it,
Dirty, dirty.
including the building code enforcement officer back here.
He's talking
That's
about.
a 20-foot tape.
Oh,
Okay, so I think that's what we would do then, we would,
Did you go out and measure the Burger King one too?
Yeah, must be.
And they did all those signs on there.
that's pretty
Look
good.
at you.
I want this here.
You got a new.
So you're giving a positive referral on the number of wall signs and the height of the wall signs?
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess you'd call it not a positive referral on the height that we requested. You say we're gonna recommend a max of 20? Is that right?
Or whatever Walgreens is,
Oh.
which should be, and that one's not on here,
Walgreens
but,
is significantly
yeah,
lower.
but Dunkin' is 20, okay, so there's a differing opinion, and the board will sort it out.
Okay.
We'll put these opinions
All right.
to them, and we're perfectly happy with the, parking spots, mobile order spots.
Yep.
And it's sort of a neutral about the fact that the M's are taller than they should be, but not too wide at all, because they're essentially,
So what's the height requirement on the M's and what's the,
The max of your code says a wall sign is 2.5 feet,
and the?
and we're asking
3.5.
another foot.
but it's.
So what about the width? There's nothing about the width because.
Because
that's-
it's 80%.
that's the percentage.
It's not mentioned in the code.
And they're 4 feet wide.
Yeah. Yeah, they are 4 feet wide, but yeah, it's not mentioned in the code, there's a minimum or a maximum.
Just for the, how it relates to the building size, so, yep. Okay.
I'd also recommend that those stay at the height that they require. Just again for being fair, that's the fair thing to do. So we've held, who was asking for, someone was asking for signs inside the building in the last couple of years. Might have been Walgreens, yeah.
And it was also,
We kept
Our
them to-
Marty Brothers, that's the one, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're okay. We came up with it at the same time.
They were asking for a larger round sign and we said no. So I think that we
So we backed it down.
should in order to.
And they didn't put theirs up yet, there was a round one on the side that was approved, but they haven't painted it on.
They're too busy keeping the fire side of the restaurant, put her in the newspaper last week.
Oh,
Well, and
oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that that's the best we can do at this point, is that right?
Could you clarify then what you're recommending to the planning board for me, just so I'm clear on that?
Yes, okay, so we'll
Does the
recommend.
board have to vote on that recommendation?
I don't.
No, they just look at that and then they'll make the decision, I believe, is how that works.
Yeah,
But you don't even vote on the recommendation?
We can,
This body?
Yes. The referral doesn't require a vote, it's just your,
no, because essentially what we're gonna do is reject it.
I can make a motion to say, this is what we say to the
Yeah,
village board, if you guys wanna agree or disagree on it, that's fine.
we can do that, and then, it still only comes as a, opinion from this board.
understand.
Yeah.
So lay your opinion out for me one more time
Okay,
then.
so the opinion is that the wall signs, McDonald wall signs are perfectly good, that the, M's are reasonable, because we have done that sort of thing before, because they're narrow but tall, you know what I mean, essentially
Okay,
almost round, but not quite. And that we, believe that the height of the freestanding sign should be commensurate with the other properties nearby. Within a foot or two, but well, I'm not gonna put a number out to that, but commensurate with the nearby business signs.
Nearest business would be,
Would be Dunkin'.
yeah.
That's not a good
Well,
deal.
That's
yeah,
funny,
sign.
that's
See, and
funny.
I would say go with the Dunkin' height instead of the Walgreens height, because McDonald's and Walgreens aren't competitors. Whereas I feel like Dunkin' and McDonald's could be competitors.
They've been known to be competitors.
I mean, like the coffee drinks and stuff like that, the McCafe stuff.
Dunkin' isn't even calling themselves donuts anymore.
That's
I
right,
know.
they dropped the donuts. It's Dunkin'. It's all about the
Exactly,
coffee.
so I feel like with the competitor kind of notion,
Yep.
that would be my
Okay.
logic.
So that could be modified
20
slightly.
feet.
Yep.
Okay.
And, that the dimensions of the freestanding sign, the signs themselves, that's too many square feet.
Okay.
Okay. That's all right with the rest of you, too many square feet. It's too high, too many.
I'd really like to go with the Walgreens height.
Okay.
And again, I think we need to stay consistent with the size of the arch because of what we recently said to
Yeah.
the coffee shop. So that has to stay within the size as opposed to going that tall.
So could the M's be 2.5 feet in diameter?
Sure.
Well, in the
2.5
vertical size
foot
and then
feet
wider
height.
across, yeah.
So that would make it a little bit less wide as well,
Yeah.
proportionally.
Yep. Okay.
Staying consistent is easy and explainable.
Yeah.
You know, if we allow one thing here and not one thing over there.
Right, because then people come back and say, hey, look, you
Right.
did this, now
Yeah.
you turned us down. I don't know how much we turned down.
Staying consistent is fair, and being fair is easy. And we know that people want McDonald's in this town, that's not up for debate, and people love McDonald's.
Maybe it'll do well. I think it's gonna do very well.
I think it will be too.
And I do think they'll find it, regardless of how tall.
I think that they're gonna find it, there's gonna be a mile long line out the door.
And I was having that thought tonight. I'm thinking, how long is it from the drive-in? How many cars could you stack up before you get back? Now, when you look at this picture, it's not as bad as I was thinking. I was thinking it was too close. But you could get 10 cars in off the main road, do you think? Before?
From here to there?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, we get way more than that. I mean,
Okay.
we model this. This assumes everybody's driving a Suburban into that thing. I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah.
these cars are all 20 feet. I mean, it just doesn't happen that way.
Yeah,
Right.
very good. Okay.
I think
Very
it'd be good.
conservative.
Okay, so that, I was.
So not that my beliefs matter, but I'm willing to bet that there will be a backup to the curb cut.
Huh.
The curb cut on Route 11. Like, it's gonna be that popular.
Oh.
Just if you look at what Dunkin' looks like early in the morning, if any of you.
Well, like the Dairy Queen opening,
It didn't.
You don't have as efficient as a drive-through is.
that's true.
Send those burgers.
Dairy Queen
I'm telling you,
was
there's a whole building in
nuts.
Chicago that all it is studying drive-throughs and how to make them the fastest and the best they possibly could be. The absolute, when it comes to drive-through science, McDonald's has it down like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not trying to say that
No, I know.
it's a problem with Dunkin', but I think it's just going to be outstandingly popular.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Everyone's going to notice it, and that it's going to be a positive thing for people who want McDonald's back.
Yeah.
It's been gone for, is it 15 years now?
How long's it been gone from here?
10 years?
10 maybe. Yeah, it's a long time. Nobody's bought it.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Jeff, has that meeting been set yet? You still working on it?
Yes, I'm gonna try to get you in to the November 18th meeting at 6:30. Barry, all I need is that report from you, the recommendation report.
Okay.
Get that to me as fast as possible. I'll talk to the village and see if I can get you into that meeting. I'm pretty sure I can.
Awesome.
Good.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Before I give it to him, I'll send it to everybody.
Okay.
If you wanna add stuff, and fix it up, you can. And then,
Just give me the final copy,
Yep,
is
that's
all I
what we'll
want.
do. That's exactly what I'll do. I'll make sure you'll get the first mailing too, but then if people have something to add, I'll add that to it and get it to you quickly.
Cool.
Yep. Okay, as quickly as I ever do. Sometimes fast. Now,
Any further?
do we have any further business? I will tell you that they have started, going through the new code.
Okay.
So the other morning, I think we sat for 2 hours listening to Jerry and Monica. Monica is the person. Is it Monica?
Monica.
Yeah. And so.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
Take care.
No,
Stay
you
safe.
bet.
Thanks.
Have a good night.
And so they're changing a number of things, and I've kind of lost track of it, what they changed. But one of the big things they changed, of course, was money from the church deal. So, they've taken out the 3 acre, requirement for churches to move in the village, you need 3 acres of land, and so they're just letting it be a regular, the church deal. Is that what you're puzzled about?
I just couldn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I remember them. You're fine. I
Okay.
remember them talking about it. Lee was on the
So
call.
could you explain that again? So they're taking 3 acres off their funds?
Right, so the church is gonna be any other sort of thing, the same as any other sort of thing that's gonna be of size, and it'll be the parking and stuff. I assume the parking is still there, but they're taking out 3 acres, because they can see that would be hard to defend. When nothing else has acreage area in it, you know, state except for churches.
So parking?
Well, and then that depends, I suppose, on which zone they're in, because if you're in a C1 and C2, parking isn't an issue. So we figure the village is gonna.
But churches weren't previously allowed in C1, C2.
No, that's right. Well, so they're taking that out too, because Jerry says that the federal judge said that the ABC law doesn't make any difference. I don't know what we're supposed to do. We get competing laws at different levels. The Fed says, no, this doesn't matter to me. That's the way Jerry described it, so I don't know what's going to happen. Of course, that judge was wrong anyway, because he said we already owned the building when we started.
Well, they lied.
That's right. So, whatever it was about. Anyhow, so they've done that, and they've done a number of other things to clean up, and they're changing the names of the zones a little bit, and the things they can do. But the nice part is there's a grid that's been put out with all what can happen in different zones, and so that's what they're working on so far. But unfortunately, 2 hours I began to drift.
I wonder how that federal judge feels about cash bribes. Because they cash bribed Casera to sell it to him for that.
Oh.
And the cash bribe isn't part of the sale. That's the thing that's, and that's why they wouldn't let go of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't belong in the
That's not in the minutes.
I hope it's in there.
It is in the recording, though.
I don't care. Please know I speak, and that's fine.
Understood.
So I think that's, unless there's other business. Jeff, do you have anything good that we ought to know about? Anything bad we ought to know about?
Anything at all?
Steve left his easel.
Oh,
Oh, no, he loves his easel.
Yeah.
My easel now, Steve.
I'll put it up in my office.
Because he has to come back? Oh, no, he doesn't have to come back. Yeah, he does in November, doesn't he, for the,
Yeah, but he's gonna be without his easel for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Easel said and done.
Oh,
So something
yes.
that we should say is, these poor guys who are trying to start BBs, and by BBs I mean the gas station at BBs.
This time of year, is that true?
They have a chance of getting that in before they shut concrete down. I mean,
When do they shut concrete down?
What, a month or so, Jeff, to shut concrete down?
If you pay enough, you get concrete.
I built a house in
That's true.
1980 and I started November 1st.
Wow.
Well, people were tougher back then, John.
I guess so.
And back in those days, the trades would be laid off.
That's right.
When
So you
you
know
started
you
working,
guys.
the masonry trade would be laid off when it's broke.
Yep.
Now, they don't mind spending $5,000 to $6,000 to heat the building after they get the shower.
Huh.
Wow.
So,
Huh. Yeah, so you needed to work. Is that it? You were laid off, so you needed to go ahead?
yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I just needed to build a house.
You're like, I needed someplace to live.
Yeah.
The house where you live?
No.
Do you want that?
Oh,
Or
that's
do you-
really, this is really interesting.
I want that.
You want
You want
that?
that?
I want that back. Mary, what else do we need to send with the site plan to the county? I need that as quick as possible.
Yeah, so I don't think there's much else because
They look at the site plan and then they come up with their recommendations.
right, because.
Well, these guys, like, I wanna make sure we do
Sometimes
something
them
for them, because I'm just thinking of myself.
But
And I
that's
would
not the way it's
shit
supposed to
just
be.
got hung up on a bunch of stupid, just like,
Boilerplate.
boilerplate meetings.
Yeah.
I'd be furious.
The King Street folks were getting all bent out of shape because.
Yeah, this seems like a,
Well, they have to get on that November 12th meeting, right?
Yeah.
And then we could meet shortly after that.
Yeah.
They needed it.
About the parking and all, and the size of the-
Right, but they actually came to us first.
I don't
I think so.
I mean, like I said.
It may not have been much of a meeting, but I do believe, I could be
Well,
wrong.
I surely won't touch it. I do know that, rest of you used to take it, great delight in it. You need a $75 check to go to the county, and here we go, and I'll do it.
I wanted the slaughterhouse to win. I think I'm the only person in Canada who won the slaughterhouse.
I'm just using that example.
Okay, but I do think.
I don't know why people got so bent out of shape with materials.
What was
Well, you
it?
know, the one that went out on.
Well, yeah, they better.
Slaughterhouse next to the prison, and people fought it tooth and nail.
Because we don't have to do a seeker.
Well, there's a
There
prison
used
up
to be
there.
a spot that still is.
Yeah, glaciers.
You better research that.
Well, that used to be in the summer. You could take that dip as you're going toward Parkway.
Yeah.
Kind of dips down like that and then
Let's
comes back.
do it this one right here
All
and see.
swamps in there and so bad.
Maybe the county will recommend that.
Flood and all
A
that.
septic system.
That could be a question for the
But that
Yeah,
was back-
village
that was
is
back in
Because there's something in here.
So people still remember the snow, okay.
I do.
I've
Well,
never-
I'm used to good splatter smell.
How much is that?
That smells like home to me.
Right.
Oh dear.
You have something dead in your basement home, or?
No, like my hometown is like all kinds of, it's like, I'm from meatpacking country.
Like New York City, the meatpacking district?
No, like the Midwest, just like,
Oh.
That's good.
And the meatpacking district hasn't been a thing in our lifetimes, it's just they still call it that.
I am very, very familiar
I will check
with
on the
meatpacking
map
plants.
and see,
I
let me
know
write that
some.
down right now, if there's any wetlands near us there.